Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income specialist, certified financial fiduciary, and the founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim primarily serves Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies using life, health, long-term care, and annuity insurance products. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Tim Wood.
Hello, this is Tim Wood, your host, welcoming you to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm an asset and retirement protection specialist and your one-stop source for capital preservation and strategic income planning. Anyone that knows me pretty much at all or has ever read my book knows I am a huge sports fan. And while it's not my number one sport, I am a hockey fan, and the absolute best hockey player, in my opinion, Wayne Gretzky. There's some others that, Gordie Howe, there's some others that are definitely up there, but Wayne Gretzky is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Now, there's a couple things that Wayne said. He's actually got a lot of really great quotes. You ever want to look up some really great sports quotes, look up quotes by Wayne Gretzky. But there was a couple that I happened to come across this last week that really struck me and that they could really relate to people's retirement. So we're going to talk about that real quick. First, if you don't already have a copy of my book, you hear me say it over and over, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success. You need your own copy. We will send you a copy absolutely free, no charge, no obligation. It's how we help educate people in the United States about what their options really are. You can get your free copy on our website, safemoneyretirement.com, or call us 833-413-SAFE. Now, Wayne Gretzky. How can one of the greatest players of all time have anything to do with retirement? One of the quotes that he had, and some of y'all that are big fans of him probably already know where I'm going with this. He said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been." Okay, well, how can that relate to retirement? What he's saying is he's not looking at where things are right now. He's looking at where they're going to be. And this is one of the things that I really work with my clients on, is really trying to look forward and think forward 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25, 30. Look forward and make sure you're going to have enough guaranteed income then to cover whatever your expenses are then. Skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. Another variation of that is he said a good hockey player plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be. Let's make sure you are a great player in your retirement. So again, what am I talking about? So we've got to make sure that you are taken care of where you are. So let's say where you are is at retirement. We've got to make sure that we've got enough income for you at retirement. That's number one. That's the baseline. That's what we've got to make sure that we've got taken care of. That's your guaranteed income. You know you can walk away from work, be happy because you don't have to worry about bills or anything. Everything's taken care of for you and your wife. But what we've got to do is we've got to look where the puck's going to be. Where's the puck going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40 maybe for some of you? We've got to make sure that you have got income that can continue to grow and turn on later in the future. We got to make sure that you've got multiples of those that you can turn on later and in the future to make sure wherever the puck goes that you can go there. Inflation goes up again. Okay, well, we can turn on some money and we can counter that inflation. Something happens, to whatever, you need some extra money. You've got health issues. You've got family you need to take care of. We've got to make sure that you've got the money that you need. And that's one of the big reasons that I preach to people, that philosophical change. I've heard me talk about it over and over, between the acquisition phase, which is what we're in our entire life. Let's gather as much money as we possibly can in stocks and bonds and all this stuff, which is great. Let's do that. But when you make the transition to retirement, that's when that mindset needs to change from acquisition to distribution, because it's a totally different ballgame when you're in retirement, because you don't still have income coming in from a job that's going to, be able to overcome if there's a major market event or if there's a collapse in the market. What's going to happen? So we need to make sure that you're prepared. Again, where is the puck going to be? Well, if we can see that, inflation is on average right here, we can kind of plan for that. But the thing is, we don't know exactly where inflation is going to be. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So trying to make the best plan that you can, trying to plan for where the puck's going to be 10, 20, 30 years from now can be challenging, which is why I all the time preach you need to have other plans that can continue to grow and the income can continue to grow basically as long as you need it to until you turn it on. And you know what? There's some plans that even after you turn on the income, it can still continue to grow, either on a guaranteed basis or on a basis based on when the market's up, the income can go up. When the market's down, it can't go down. That's something that we can talk about individually. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're thinking out far enough, that you're not narrowing in on, okay, well, I'm going to be good. Say you're 65 right now. Oh, well, I'm good. I've got a plan. I'm definitely good till I'm 80. Okay, that's great. I have clients come in and tell me all the time, oh, well, my current financial advisor gave me this plan and it shows that, there's a 97% chance I'm going to be fine until I'm 86. Okay, that's great. Well, what happens if you live to 92? What happens if you live to 96? What are you going to do those last 10 years? You're going to live with your son-in-law you can't stand, or, whatever. We want to make sure, again, we're looking at where the puck's going to be. Puck's going to be over there in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years. Let's plan for that. Let's make sure you've got enough income now. Let's make sure you're going to have extra income you can turn on in the future when you need it. And let's make sure you've got growth plans that don't have any losses if there's a major market event once you've made that transition from acquisition to distribution. Because again, that's what can get you into that death spiral, is when you start taking withdrawals from an account, when at the same time it's going down. That's what happened to my father. For those of you that have read my book, you know the story of what happened to my father. He lost over 75% of his retirement in 4 years. His first 4 years of retirement, he went back to work. For over a decade, actually, he went back to work. So let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let's listen to the great one. Let's skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it's been. Let's plan ahead 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Let's make sure that in the future, your retirement can be as happy as it can be. Well, I must take a short break. This is Tim Wood, and you're listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
The market goes up and the market goes down. It always has, and it always will. But if you are in or near retirement, do you have time to wait for the market to go through these cycles? Think about it. Having your money invested in the market is like walking next to the edge of a cliff. What if you lose your step? What if the edge gives way? What if a strong wind blows you over the side? It's good to stay away from the edge of disaster in life, and when it comes to being exposed to financial risk, it's no different. Shouldn't you try to protect the money you depend on for your retirement income? Pick up the phone and call us now to receive your complimentary Safe Money Information Kit. Call 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Call now for your complimentary copy of the Safe Money Retirement Book and Information Kit. Once again, our number is 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Business owners, some of you have worked 20 and even 30 years to build your business. You're ready to sell this asset and go into retirement, but you don't want to risk or lose any of your hard-earned money. Property owners, have you just sold your property and need to turn that money into lifetime income? How about 401k participants? Have you recently changed jobs or reached the age 59 and a half And have a retirement account you don't want to see exposed to market losses? If you have money you're counting on for retirement, don't gamble your life's work away if you are nearing or in retirement. Take some chips off the table and do something to take the stress out of retirement. Call 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Your hard-earned money deserves our help. Call us now at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Now back to more of the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome back. I'm Tim Wood, your host of the Safe Money Retirement Show. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist. In today's case file, we're going to discuss Rebecca's situation. Now, Rebecca is just 38 years old, but she was very, very wise, actually beyond her years. What happened was her grandmother recently passed away and left her $150,000 in a life insurance benefit. Well, she realizes even at 38, she doesn't really need the money right now. She's got a really good job, makes a significant amount of money, and she's really good at keeping on top of her finances. She's got a spreadsheet and everything that she brought in. So what we did was we looked at what can we do with that 150 to get her the most growth possible. She obviously doesn't need income right now. The most growth possible with no chances of losses, and let's see what the options are. So essentially what we did was we got her into a fixed indexed annuity with a zero floor. So what that's actually going to do is it's going to allow her every single year to choose how she wants her money to grow. Does she want it to grow on a fixed basis or on a market indexed basis or some of each? You know, maybe let's do 60% in the fixed and 40% based on what the S&P does or whatever. We can make those choices every single year, no chances of losses, no fees, and she can just let it continue to grow and continue to, just build up upon itself. And being only 38, she's probably got somewhere between 20 and 30 years until retirement. Hopefully we can have that 150 at 2 or 3 or 4 times that by the time she gets to retirement with no chances of losses and no fees. So that's the plan that we came up with for her. She was extremely excited about it. For the rest of her life, this is actually what she said. She said she will be thanking her grandmother for this, quote, gift that keeps on giving. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe from market losses and that you have an income you can't outlive so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your complimentary Safe Money Retirement book and information kit at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Or request your copy of Tim's book online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.